There's a certain kind of man who doesn't need to raise his voice to be heard. He doesn't chase, he doesn't plead, he doesn't posture, and yet women remember him. They think about him, they talk about him, long after he's left the room. What is it about him? What makes this man so calm, so composed, utterly unforgettable? The answer lies not in how loud he is, but in how still, not in how much he says, but in what he doesn't. This man lives by a different code, one older than modern dating advice, one forged in fire, war, loss, and silence. It's the code of the Stoic Alpha. If you're a man trying to navigate modern relationships, you've probably been told to be confident, be high value, be a leader. But no one ever really explains how. And so many men fall into two traps. They either overcompensate, becoming loud, aggressive, performative, or they withdraw completely, becoming passive, invisible, and overlooked. But there is a third way, a quiet, powerful path, rooted in Stoic philosophy, a way of living that has guided warriors, emperors, philosophers, and leaders for over 2,000 years. Today, we're going to explore 8 things that alpha men, real alpha men, do, that make women not just notice them, but feel pulled toward them. Not out of manipulation, not through games, but because these men embody something rare, mastery of self. And once you master yourself, everything else begins to shift. So let's begin. 1. Alpha men make peace with solitude. Modern society teaches us that loneliness is something to escape. Scroll your phone, swipe right, go out, stay busy. But the Stoic man, he does something radical. He turns inward. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Alpha men understand this. They are not afraid of being alone. In fact, solitude sharpens them. It is in silence that they confront their thoughts, their wounds, their desires, and because of this, they move through the world with a quiet certainty. Women pick up on this. A man who is at peace in solitude isn't needy. He doesn't seek validation. He's comfortable in his own presence, which makes his presence more powerful. If you can sit with yourself for an hour in silence, without reaching for your phone, without numbing out, you're already doing something 90% of men can't. 2. They don't react. They respond. In a world built on triggers, dopamine, and outrage, the Stoic Alpha is a rare force of stillness. Most men are reactive. Someone cuts them off, they rage. A woman pulls back, they panic. She texts late, they overanalyze. But the Stoic Alpha observes first. He doesn't suppress his emotions. He masters them because he knows that control over the self is the highest form of power. Epictetus put it simply, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This calmness under pressure is magnetic. Women are emotional creatures. They feel deeply, they sense energy. When a man remains grounded in the storm, it makes her feel safe, even intrigued. His emotional discipline becomes intoxicating. If a woman pulls away and you chase, she loses attraction. But if you stay centered, if you respond instead of reacting, she begins to wonder, who is this man who isn't shaken by me? 3. They speak less, but say more in a world drowning in noise. The quiet man is a thunderclap. The Stoic Alpha doesn't speak to fill space. He speaks to deliver impact. His words are measured, thoughtful, and rooted in inner truth, not external validation. This doesn't mean he's cold or distant. It means he listens deeply. And when he does speak, people pay attention. Seneca wrote, "Speech is the mirror of the mind." So what does it say about a man who speaks with clarity, simplicity, and strength? He has nothing to prove. And ironically, that makes him impossible to ignore. Women don't crave constant chatter, they crave presence. A man who listens with intent, a man who pauses before he speaks. a man who doesn't need to win the conversation because he already owns himself. The next time you're in a conversation, especially with a woman, try this. Say less, pause longer, watch how the energy shifts. 4. They lead themselves first. You've heard it before, women want a leader. But what does that actually mean? It doesn't mean barking orders or flexing control. It means a man who knows where he's going and walks that path with or without approval. Alpha men lead themselves before they ever try to lead others. They wake up with intention. They set standards and follow through. They make decisions based not on how they feel in the moment, but on who they've chosen to become. This is the Stoic way. As Epictetus wrote, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" This self-leadership is rare, and because it's rare, it's deeply attractive. A woman doesn't need a man who tries to control her. She craves a man who's already in control of himself. Rehook. You don't need to convince anyone to follow you. Just live in such a way that your life becomes a compass, and those meant for your path will feel drawn, without force, without effort. 5. They don't fear disapproval. Here's the truth most won't say out loud. The average man today is addicted to approval, especially from women. He shapes his identity around what she might want. He hides his opinions. He tiptoes through life, terrified of being too much or not enough. But the Stoic Alpha has made peace with being misunderstood. He knows, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Epictetus. So he speaks his truth, even if it's unpopular. He holds his standards, even if it means being alone, because he knows that compromising his essence is far worse than losing someone who can't accept it. This unapologetic energy is electrifying, not because it's arrogant, but because it's rare. A woman may test him, she may question him, but deep down, she feels safe with him because he won't fold. Rehook. When you stop chasing approval, you start attracting respect. And that shift, it changes everything. 6. They're grounded in purpose, not possession. Some men think being alpha means flashing wealth, muscles, or status. But none of that matters if it's not anchored in purpose. The Stoic Alpha is driven by something deeper. He wakes up with a mission, not to impress, but to build, to serve, to create. His life isn't just about pleasure, it's about meaning. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. And that's exactly what he does. He doesn't tell people who he is. He shows them through the way he works, the way he lives, the way he treats others. This sense of grounded purpose makes him a force. Women feel this. They don't just see what he has, they sense what he's becoming. And that future vision, that drive, that's what's truly magnetic. Your purpose isn't found in a book or a podcast. It's revealed when you stop numbing out and start showing up, consistently, relentlessly, stoically. 7. They make women feel seen without needing to be seen. In the presence of an insecure man, everything feels like a performance. He needs to be funny. He needs to impress. He needs to win attention. But the Stoic Alpha doesn't enter a room trying to be the center of it. He observes, he listens, he notices the subtle. He makes a woman feel seen, not because he's trying to seduce her, but because he's present, fully, unapologetically present. He notices the way she shifts when she's nervous. He hears what's not being said. He responds, not to control, but to connect. And because he's not performing, she feels safe to be real. This kind of attention is addictive. It bypasses surface-level attraction and taps into something deeper, emotional resonance. Rehook. Stop trying to be interesting. Be interested, and you'll be remembered. 8. They walk away, not as a threat, but as a standard. This is the hardest truth. Many men stay in situations where they are disrespected, dismissed, or undervalued. They hope she'll change. They tolerate less than they deserve. But not the Stoic Alpha, because he knows what he brings, and he knows what he'll never accept. Walking away isn't a tactic, it's a reflection of self-respect. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free," and there is nothing braver than walking away from what doesn't serve your peace. This doesn't make a woman hate him, it makes her respect him, even if it hurts. Because deep down, everyone wants to be in the presence of someone who won't settle for less than real. Final rehook. When you stop tolerating the wrong energy, you make space for the right one. And that's not just true in relationships, it's true in life. Being an alpha isn't about domination. It's not about being louder, stronger, richer, or more liked. It's about being rooted in who you are, in what you believe, in how you move through the world. Women don't become addicted to you because you game the system. They become drawn to you because you embody something rare, a man who needs nothing, yet offers everything. The Stoic Alpha isn't perfect, but he is present, he is purposeful, he is at peace. And in a chaotic, noisy world, that kind of man is unforgettable. If this message stirred something in you, don't let it fade. Don't just nod and scroll. Act. Start small. Start silent. Sit with yourself. Reflect. Write. Walk. Read a page of meditations tonight. Commit to one change, one new standard, one promise to yourself. And if you want more content like this, real, grounded, masculine, stoic, subscribe. This is not just a channel, it's a movement. And it begins with you.